Hello, this is Mike with TradeWinds RV Center, here to congratulate you on your No Boundaries 19.1 travel trailer. I'm going to walk you around this, show you how to use a few things to get the best out of your camping experience. Let's start by talking about arriving at the campsite. A couple things to take into consideration when you're parking. On your campsite, you want to leave plenty of room for this awning to come in and out. On your off campsite, just want you to think about where your power or water connections are going to be. Power is going to be here, water is going to be there. Look toward the front of the unit. So park accordingly so you can utilize the facilities at the campsite. Once we arrive, unhook our hitch. First thing we're going to do is level our unit. Unit comes with a night docking light. Should you arrive at night on this power tongue jack, simply hit up to go up, down to go down. Now should you lose power, underneath this rubber stopper right here, this little hand crank, get onto a bolt down there, and you can get this up and down should you not have power. Speaking of power, check your battery post every now and then, make sure nothing's wiggled loose going down the road. Once we got our unit level, next thing we're going to do is stabilize it. Tuck back in there. Now on all four corners of the unit, got these scissor stabilizing jacks. I'm going to recommend some jack pads. Get some jack pads, put down on the ground. It's going to protect the feet of your stabilizing jacks from dirt and debris. Keep it from sinking into the hot blacktop in the summer. Just a good investment. Pick up a 4-pack, put them down, and then run these down just until they're taut. Remember, our unit's already level. All we're trying to do at this point is stabilize it. So run these down just until you've got some resistance on your hand crank. You don't want to lift the unit. Get all four of them down. All four corners, get our unit level and stable. Now we can hook up our power and water. Power cord. Big, long 30 amp cord. The way these plug in now, they'll come in at a little angle here, and then turn it to the right, and then put your black washer on. At the end of that 30 amp service, should you need to plug into a 110 somewhere, is a 30 to 15 amp reducer. Will come in your convenience pack. You can plug on the end of that. Once your power's hooked up, we'll hook up our water. At campsites, we're going to hook up to city water connection. First and foremost, your water pressure regulator. This water pressure regulator is going to reduce the water pressure to 40 to 50 psi, protecting the lines in your unit. Always use this because you don't know what the water pressure is at different campsites. Hook that up, then hook up your hose, but don't turn your hose on yet. One more step. Hot water heater. And all we're doing at this point, folks, is make sure our drain plug's back in. Throw some plumber's tape around that, not putty. Putty will gum up on you. Go ahead, throw some plumber's tape on that, get that, your rod in there nice and tight. Once that's in there snug, we can go ahead and turn on this water. Now, after that water's been on a few minutes, we're going to go up beside the unit. What I'm going to need you to do at this point is just go to your sinks. Come into your kitchen sink, your bathroom, turn on your waters, get all the air out of the lines. Same thing in your shower, turn that on. Get all the air out of the lines, get a nice steady flow of water going through everything. Then you can shut them off and you're all set for city water. But now let's say we're going to go camping and we're not going to use city water. We're going to go dry camping, or boondocking some people call it. In that case, we're going to fill up our freshwater tank. That's going to be right above your city water. No need for a water pressure regulator here. You can just use a hose to gravity fill it. Two ways to tell it's full. One, there's the overflow valve right here, or two, on the inside where you check the levels of your black and gray tanks, there's also a freshwater button. Keep an eye on this while you're filling it. Don't leave it unattended. Once it's full, remove that hose, put that cap on, and then whenever you want to utilize that water, you'll turn on your water pump. Don't turn on your water pump when hooked up to city water that's already pressurized. All right, we're all set to camp now with power and water. We'll walk you around and show you a few other things before we go inside. Here's your pass-through storage area. For the hand cranks here, you do have this griddle and a table right there that will set up outside. I'll show you that over on the other side. Stabilizing jacks. Low point drains. Fresh water drain is the single one. Again, city and freshwater. A couple things on your hot water heater. If it is not working, come out here to check to see if either one of these resets need to be pushed back in. And if you're hooked up to 110 is the only time you ever want to turn this electric element on out here. Don't turn it on any other time that you're plugged in. It should work fine. So right here's where you plug in your cable. Again, your power. There's where we'll dump our black tanks, black and gray tanks. There's where we'll wash out our black tank. That's a vent that you can push to open from the inside in case you've got a toy in here and you want to get rid of the fumes. Your ladder, simply remove these cotter pins. Ladder will fold out off from the wall. Go up there every now and then, check the seams of your roof a couple times a year, and caulk as needed with recommended RV roofing caulk. This is another vent. Show you how to open up your garage. Lift your handle up, turn it. Handle up, turn it. Until walk this down. Now if you want to use it as a ramp, simply remove these cotters and that'll come right up down. If you want to set this up as a deck, the front one here we're going to remove. Stand your wall up and then replace your cotters to hold your wall up. Like so. You also have a little safety strap here you put back in there so no pets can get out. I'll repeat the process with the other side. That'll give you a nice little deck area. You also got a big zipper there for your garage to close up. Reversing the process. Didn't have it done, but good to keep this velcroed here. So hold your door onto the other door. Remove our cotters, just lay that wall back down. Back in to hold it down. Lifting back in, just want to make sure your cables get in. That's the biggest thing, is tuck your cables to the inside. Got a couple of outdoor lights. Your awning, pitch control. Pull down on that, that'll tilt your awning so all your rainwater will run in one direction. Continue down our campsite. We got our porch light, a flue for your furnace. A few things on that. One, make sure it's never blocked. Two, if you're running your furnace, steer clear of that. It does get hot. They also actually sell screens that you can put over those from keeping the bugs out. There's your LP quick connect. Couple 110s here. Spray poured hose here. This is the rail that your griddle will set on, and the table. Slides right on there. There's your quick connect hose. Already showed you the griddle and the table. These are the legs for the griddle. Spare tire, spray puller hose, and your hitch cord. Coming up front, again, your battery. You got a leash link. This is where you can tie a pet. And the propane is on a regulator, simply lefty-loosey to open. Lastly, your battery disconnect. This would disconnect all the battery power to the unit. That'll come important here shortly when I talk about your carbon monoxide and propane detector. What covers everything out here? Let's take a look on the inside. Alright, most important thing on these steps going in or out, you're gonna have to make sure your exterior door is all the way open. Otherwise this will catch on it coming out. Stepping up into your unit, first thing I always like to point out is your fire extinguisher. Make sure that you and everyone that's camping with you knows the fire extinguisher is located at the entry doorway. Coming up to my right as soon as I come in is my awning LED light. The little porch light up front. If you rock it down, where's that at? Let's see it from here. And then our interior lights, which are also individual in case you want to go through and dim all of them but one. Here's our back porch light, as well as your running light back here. So a bunch of lighting really in here. A couple of 110s, can and bottle openers. On your TV, a couple of things. You do have a strap that you can strap it in for travel. When you arrive at the campsite, I want you to go into your menu, go to digital channel scan, and run a channel scan at your local spot wherever you're camping, so you'll be able to pick up all the local channels. Also, up here where your cable plugs in, there's a green light, little button with a green light on it. Make sure that green light is on. That is going to be your antenna, your digital channel enhancer. It allows you to pick up more channels. And again, this TV will store right back in the corner and strap in for travel. I've also got a strapped in table here that you can take out. And continuing around here in the living room, here's our thermostat. Let's go ahead and turn that on to cool. Crank it down. That should kick our AC on. Alright. Now I'll go through and shut it off. Generally those shut off pretty quickly. There we go. Now I'm going to do the heat. Crank the heat up. Now you'll notice when I shut the heat off, you'll hear the fan for the heat running for a few minutes before it actually shuts off. Down here is going to be a 12 volt carbon monoxide propane detector. The reason I mentioned that's 12 volt, that's always running off your battery. So if you are out dry camping, I mentioned earlier, you got the battery disconnect up front. It's going to be gone for the entire day. Go ahead and shut that off to keep this running your battery down while you're gone. The vents I spoke of, simply press them out. Move this rubber band. Simply press them out, get air, pull them back in. Our sofa will jackknife down, make sleeping quarters, as will our chair. It'll do the exact same thing. Or either one of these will snap up against the wall for travel. Got our tie downs here. Coming back into our kitchen area. Controls for our fridge are right there for our freezer and fridge up there. We've got a light and a fan above our cooktop. We'll just turn this to high. Use a stick lighter to light these. And below that is your microwave. They're all working. Here's our vacuum system. So, move this over, hook up the vacuum hose, turn that on. Now to find your bag, close that, pull back on that circle. Right there's your bag. So it's fine, you can sweep all your vacuum all your garbage. Move that back down, it stops it there. Couple of 110s here. Individual lighting above our sink. Individual lighting here as well. Cabinet lighting. Another 110. Smoke alarm. Emergency escape window. Push this out, pull on that. That'll open that window right up for you. Lastly down here, this is your inverter. And to the left here is going to be your breaker box and fuses. Got a 30, a 40, a 20, a handful of 15s. A little variety there. Recommend you keep some of those with you when you go camping. Head off into our bathroom here. We do have a hand crank open power exhaust vent here. Solar controller. This keeps your solar batteries from overcharging, your solar panels from overcharging your batteries. Sole purpose of this, I'll send you a separate video from Go Power on that. Over here is where we'll check our levels. So if I hold that down, it shows you a brand new battery. Freshwater, black, and gray tanks all empty. Here's where you turn on your water heater. Here's where you turn on your water pump if you need that potable water. Freshwater, gray, and black tanks. This is a heating tank system. So it's just a little 12-volt pad. If you're in inclement weather and you think your tanks are going to freeze, turn that on. That'll turn on a little 12-volt pad to keep them from freezing. A little more plumbing to maintain. Just keep an eye on it. Bouncing the house down the road, things could wiggle loose. 110 with GFCI reset in here. And that about covers everything on the inside. It's act like we're leaving the campsite and get ready to close it up. We'll start by coming up in here and bringing in this awning. On the awning, when you're extending it, you only want to extend it down till you can see that bar and your flap is down. If you hold that down, that'll start running itself up backwards onto itself. So keep an eye on it when you run it out. Make sure you don't need to run it out further than you need to. And as I run that in, next thing I'm going to do is go through the unit and shut off all the lights. Shut them all off from my main control panel here. And then I can look and see that any other lights I have are accent lights. Awning's in. Let's go through and shut off the rest of our lighting. All accent lighting in here's off. Now I'm going to say doors and drawers. Walk through your unit, make sure all doors and drawers are closed and secure for travel. You got your table strapped up. Strap up your TV. Any toy that you have strapped in here, strap it down for travel. And then exit the unit. On your steps again, make sure your exterior door is all the way open. See how close that gets. This side, we're going to lock that in. Before you leave the dump station, lock and deadbolt this door. Lift and turn that handle. That's how you want your door for travel. Alright, now if we're boondocking, dry camping, we're gonna bring up our stabilizing jacks, come over here and dump our freshwater drain. This is a single one there. Hook up our hitch and head on to the nearest dump station or home, whichever we're in need of. If we are at a campsite, we're gonna unhook our power, our water, our cable, hook up our hitch, bring up our stabilizing jacks, hook up our hitch, and head on up to the dump station. Now at the dump station, park accordingly. Your dump's gonna be right in front of your tires, on your driver's side of your tow vehicle, and you've got a 10-foot hose to use. We're gonna hook that up here. We're gonna come over here and we're gonna dump wastewater holding tank. That's gonna be the left one here. That's gonna be your black tank. That's gonna be your sewage. When it sounds like it's no longer draining, go inside, check the level of your black tank. If it shows empty, come back out here, leave that handle open, grab the hose at the dump station, hook it up to this black tank flush, and let that run for a good 5 minutes. Emphasizing leaving wastewater tank open. It's gonna wash all that nastiness out of there. When that's done, remove that hose. Make sure all the washout you just put in there has drained. Close that black handle and pull your gray handle. Now usually while my grays are draining, I will go ahead and dump my low point drains. Also, you don't want to leave stagnant water in your hot water heater. So we're going to come up here. We're going to lift up on this pressure release valve. It's going to dump a lot of hot water out of there, so be careful. When it's done, push that back down. And then you can pull your drain plug for the residual water. Make sure you close this back up for travel. Close them those low point drains up. When your gray tank's done, close your gray handle, remove your sewage hose conveniently and sanitarily. Store it right down here in what I like to call your stinky slinky hole. There's your home. And now you head home. Again, we thank you guys so much for your purchase. Hope you enjoy this no boat for many years to come. Happy camping.